Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And of course, game devs are skipping out in protest at the GDC in San Francisco. This year, it's over ice. Last year, they were worried about being arrested and detained. The year before that, let me see, they were all screaming about the layoffs. The year before that, they were all too broke to go.
And then before that, it was probably COVID.
It was COVID, yes.
So literally there's something every year you hear them screaming about.
Every year they're screaming about it because it's not cheap. It's in San Francisco, but they're always looking for reasons not to go. I do remember that last year, though. They were like, yeah, you can't go because they might like throw you in the back of the van or something if you're Canadian.
I'd be like, if it's in San Francisco, I'd be like, you don't want to go because you might step in human shit when you're trying to walk down the street. No, it's not that. Or you might have people like tweaking outside the center and like needles everywhere. No, it's not that. It's because, we might get questioned about our status when we come into the country.
God, I spent a good chunk of my life right outside San Francisco. It used to be such a beautiful city. It did. It really did. It's heartbreaking. Let's talk about this. I don't think there are enough game developers left to go to these conferences because they're all getting
too busy staying home trying to keep the company afloat. Could go that way.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's the thing too. Like, people don't realize a lot of these
too busy screaming about Reddit.
Oh,
anyway.
Yeah. So before you get into any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Go out to more.clownfishtv.com. That's moreclownfishtv.com for more Clownfish TV. We have some bonus content out there. We do not do super chats on this channel, so that's the best way to support us if you'd like to. So this is coming from Screen Rant. The Game Developers Conference, also known as the GDC, is held annually in San Francisco. This year, fewer developers will be attending, as reported by mobilegamer.biz. Many international visitors are skipping due to safety concerns. That was also last year.
Yeah, so they skipped that. Then they, before that it was because of layoffs. They don't want to come, so they're trying to find excuses.
Yes, it's expensive. You could just say it costs too much.
I get it though, because we don't. Also the fact though about the about being worried about customs and immigration like that, because they're just coming in temporarily, so you should have no problem. That being, and if you're coming in legally and have your paperwork, you should have no problem. But you don't know how it's being reported over there, because I know that things are skewed often, and it's if it's being skewed, or if there are things that are being they're really taking things and they're really ramping up to 100 over there in the news for views. I can understand why people be leery because they're not necessarily getting the whole story, or they could be concerned based on what they're hearing. Again, most of you should be fine. If you're coming in, you have your temporary visa and you have your paperwork in place. And
you're just going your papers.
Yeah, you should be okay. I mean, this is insane. We're talking like ICE is going after people that are like in the country illegally and they aren't leaving. You're coming in and you're leaving. They're not going to be mad at you. So I'm just saying.
This is kind of like last year's too. They said the most significant statement as to why people aren't coming. So there's a huge attendance drop. They said depending on how studios currently feel about travel to the U.S., but I think there's a huge attendance drop because the studios don't have the money to set up at these shows.
Or is it even worth going?
Most shows, no, it isn't. Not anymore. It used to be that was the thing, because even E3 died, right? Because a
lot of companies haven't been sending people out, not just in gaming, across the board to different events, because it's a lot of money and it's not necessary.
Right. I mean, you can reach more people online now. You don't really have to spend. I mean, look, trade shows are expensive. I used to handle the trade shows for 2 different companies I worked for, and you would spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and you may not make it back in work. Now, the one company I worked for, like one client would basically pay for it, but that didn't always happen. So for a game developer, you got to sell a lot of $50 games to make it worth going, to offset it, especially a smaller publisher. You're not going to be able to offset it. So they said, this is business development executive Cassie Curran said, European Canadian games industry professionals are giving multiple reasons for not attending GDC this year. The most common reason given is that San Francisco is unpleasant and expensive.
Yes.
Next. So that was actually first. San Francisco is unpleasant and expensive.
So they're presenting it as the number one reason is because of ICE, and that's not even the number one reason.
That's not even the number one reason.
The number one reason is because what I joked about I said, I'm surprised they're complaining about you might have to step and poop some people, tweaking outside and that is what their number one reason was.
Actually, the fourth reason. Okay, so number one, San Francisco.
Like full of shit. Okay.
Yeah, well, so is San Francisco, and that's why they're not going. San Francisco is unpleasant and expensive. Next is protest at the U.S. government's aggression toward their country. So not a nice thing, just they don't like how the U.S. is treating their country. Third is concern about being forced to share social media communications. What you got on your phone?
Wait, why do you have to share your social media communications?
I don't know. Fourth place. Fourth is personal safety concerns with regards to border control and immigration officials.
Because those people aren't going to be harassed because you're just coming in for an event and leaving. It's not like
right.
You're most likely going to be okay. As long as you have all your ducks in a row, you should be fine. And even then, if you don't, what they're going to do is put you in a plane and send you home. It's not a big a deal. They're not going to haul you off and everything that they keep saying. And the people that are, and you're seeing these stuff, not always. I mean, people are getting caught up in the crossfire. But for the most part, it's people they aren't here illegally and they've been here for a prolonged period of time illegally.
So this is, they're trying to spin up like it's just an ICE thing. It's not really.
It's really not.
Representatives and heads from Slitherhine Games, NetSpeak Games, and Magic Cave. Again, I've never heard of these studios.
I was going to say who?
Chimed in with similar statements, as did off-the-record developers. Off the record. So probably people working for bigger companies are like, yeah, okay, here's really why we're not going. One studio boss noted, "We are sending fewer people. Some are uncomfortable with the situation with ICE and worry about being in the U.S." Another source described as the leadership of a mid-sized developer thinks GDC should move out of the U.S. entirely. They should move it to another city or even country. The U.S. is very expensive now, and it seems that Gamescom has taken over as a game dev's preferred event. Yeah, San Francisco is one of the most expensive cities in the country.
It's way expensive over there, yeah.
The same happened with the E3. They canceled one event, then tried to reboot it, and by that time, GDC had become the main conference. I think it's happening again, this time to GDC. Some are on the fence. I booked a cheap flight over Christmas, but now I'm thinking of taking the hit and not going. If the situation in the U.S. gets any worse, I can't imagine going. And this is what the GDC president, Nina Brown, said. "We appreciate the concern some of our community have expressed in the lead up to the GDC Festival of Gaming. We work with local officials and legal experts to monitor any U.S. policy changes, and our guidance to our international community members is to begin visa applications early and consult with their embassy on any additional requirements." Damn. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, but that's the same if you go to any other country. Like if I want to go, when I went to France, I had to have all my paperwork in place. You know what I mean? I had to. If you're just going for if you're just going to do this event, it's not really that difficult.
Okay. U.S. game conferences could be at a crossroad, even before the current climate. Very last paragraph. With the loss of E3 in 2023, a ripple effect was felt throughout the industry. While E3 had its own issues separate from other game conferences, it made some organizations wonder if physical events were even worth the squeeze.
Yes, which we talked about.
Since then, some studios have been slow to adapt to the times, and some even canceled annual events altogether. Now GDC is potentially in trouble if enough developers skip out. Ideally, if the situation de-escalates. Okay, so only a handful of people said that ICE was a concern for them. They mostly said that it's too damn expensive and it's not worth it.
San Francisco's a dump.
It's a dump now. It never used it. It didn't used to be a dump.
But it's an expensive dump, and they don't want to do it.
It's an expensive dump. So why are you saying, well, the reason they're all going to cancel is because of ICE? I'm like,
they even named it because of ICE. That isn't the main reason.
No, a handful of people have concerns about it. I think they know if they're coming from like Canada legally and they're only staying for like a week that ICE isn't coming for them, right? I mean, oh my God. And even the head of the GDC is kind of like, if you're worried about it, call your embassy.
It's not that big a deal. Like they're making like you come into the country and they're going to their ICE is sitting there waiting at the gate to get you, and it's like that's not actually how it is.
I mean, I think a lot of people are skipping out because of bullshit like this, where all these developers were standing around screaming because they couldn't deal with the fact
scream.
Yeah, that's embarrassing as hell. That's just like juvenile, embarrassing bullshit.
Most of these people are activisty and they act very juvenile.
Like I seriously, if it were me and I had my employees just stand around looking like doofuses and it wound up on social media is like, look at these pussies screaming about layoffs, I'd be like, what are you doing? Just what are you doing?
I mean, that might be better for everyone with these people that are worried about the stupid stuff. Stay home anyway.
Just stay home. Yeah, right. But no, I think just in general, I think that conventions, big conventions, they don't really have a purpose anymore. They don't. It used to be that's where all the big announcements were. That's where you met people. And I think the pandemic showed us that people are still going to buy shit even if you don't announce it at a convention.
Right.
In fact, it's probably going to get leaked a week or two before the convention, and then it's going to be like, oh yeah, we already knew about that. We already knew about that. We already knew about that. And that was a rumor, but it's confirmed. Yeah, we already knew about that. Because all stuff gets leaked anyway. So you might as well just rip the Band-Aid off and just do it online. Yeah, save yourself a lot of money. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.